This year I'm going to be turning 40 years of age. Looking back over my life, I have learned a lot of things. And yet, there are 4 major lessons that I want to present to you today, and that's this. Number 1, don't sling mud. 2, believe God for the absolute impossible. 3, learn to communicate. And 4, find your passion, set goals, and attain those goals. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is don't sling mud. How many know what that means? My grandmother sat me down about 20 years ago and she said, Gabriel, there are going to be people that are going to sling mud at you. They're going to hurt. Those words are going to sting. And inevitably, they're trying to destroy your character. Your first instinct when you hear these words is to do what? Retaliate and fight back. But she said, Gabe, don't get in the pig pen with them. Walk on by and let the Lord fight your battles. Amen? That's what you have to do. Let the Lord fight your battles. It was Mark Twain, the famous author, that said this: never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with their experience. So life lesson number 1, don't sling mud, but let the Lord handle it. The second one is this: believe God for the absolute impossible. This is a mantra, an adaptation to something that my grandfather has lived his life by for all these years, 84 years. When his grandmother told him, Jimmy, God is a big God. So what? Ask big. This is something that I've learned over these last near 40 years. And I have adopted this as my own thinking to say this: if God is able to do it for my grandfather, God is able to do it for me. And what God has promised him, what he's promised me, it will come to pass. You see, it was Jesus who stated in Mark 9:23, if thou canst believe that all things are possible to him that what? Doubt? No, but believe. That's life lesson number 2. Believe God for the impossible. The third is something I'm still learning. Learning to communicate. And no, I'm not speaking of behind this pulpit. I'm speaking in a relationship. The key to any successful relationship is conversation. The bond to any relationship is communication. That's not only with your spouse, significant other, but it's with your relationship with God. It's having that open line of communication that says, I'm willing to work at this if you're willing to work at this. We spend so much time doing what? Texting, that we've lost the art of communicating. Where is the art of one-on-one conversation? We need to get back to that. It was Henry Ford that said coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. It's working together to keep that open line of communication. Which leads to this next slide. It is the art of 2 most important words. Yes, dear. It's learning these. And if I don't know this by now, my wife will kill me. Number 4, finding your passion, setting goals, and doing everything you can to achieve those goals. You see, God's called us to do something. But whenever you find that passion, do it with all of your heart. You see that blank canvas? Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. God's called you to do something. Do it with all of your heart, your soul, and with passion. Challenging yourself will change you. And knowing this, that everything that we do, God is going to challenge us. So make sure that whatever you do, find your passion, set your goals, and work at that. Which leads to our final couple of slides, and it's this. Number 1, don't sling mud. 2, believe God for the absolute impossible. 3, learn to communicate. And 4, find your passion, set goals, and attain those goals. And in all these things, I do believe that you will find yourself a better human being. Amen? Amen. Come on, let's give God a hand clap of praise with that.